Welcome to the National Financial Ombud of South Africa, where we believe knowledge is power. Today, we bring you our very own financial literacy program. With me today, I have Brian McCuckey from the Non-Life Insurance Division, who will be speaking to us about the insurance complaints that we are seeing. Welcome, Brian. Lovely to have you here today. Brian plays a key role in helping consumers navigate the complex world of dispute resolution in the non-life sector. In particular, they focus on motor and vehicle-related complaints, an area that generates a significant amount of queries from policyholders. With the deep expertise in consumer rights, complaints handling process, Brian will unpack further what this means for the consumer. So Brian, with reference to home insurance, what does the standard home insurance policy cover?
Thank you for having me, Priya. In terms of answering your question, the standard insurance contract covers acts of nature, storm and wind damage, theft and burglary claims, as well as claims emanating from fires. An aspect to take note of is that the insurer in this instance will set out what exactly it intends on covering in the policy and what it intends on excluding as cover in the policy.
How do you think climate change is impacting homeowners insurance in terms of their claims and complaints?
Climate change is linked to extreme weather events such as heavy rains as well as flooding. The rise in temperatures in this instance may lead to more frequent storms, which may cause difficulties when it comes to lodging claims. Now, with discussing climate change, I wanted to highlight something very important, and that is approximate cause. What is approximate cause? Approximate cause can be defined as, the best way to put it, the dominant cause. If you lodge a claim with the insurer and the claim is validated, where the insurer discovers after claim validation that the damage to the property wasn't necessarily caused by an insured event as set out in the policy, the approximate cause in this instance is maintenance related or wear and tear. The insurer may be entitled to reject the claim.
What are the common misunderstandings that you see arise between insurers and complainants? Can you take us through that?
That is a very interesting question, Priya. I would say one of the biggest ones would be the purpose of insurance. To just clarify, an insurance agreement or an insurance policy is a contract in which the insurer undertakes to indemnify you as a consumer in the event of certain insured events happening as set out in the policy. Now, an important thing to take note from that is that the policy itself will set out what exactly the insurer wants to cover you for and what it doesn't want to cover you for. This is referred to as the insurer's appetite for risk, so to speak. Now, in expanding on what exactly the policy is, the damage that the consumer must claim for must be damage that occurs suddenly and unexpectedly. And in this instance, for me to even elaborate further on it, suddenly and unexpectedly could be seen as abrupt, taking place all at once. And one thing that needs to be understood is that stuff such as maintenance or issues where the insurer didn't necessarily stipulate that it would like to cover such an event, the insurer may be entitled to reject it. Now, one thing I would like to highlight in this instance would be looking at your insurer as your in case of emergency number. A number that you call in case of emergency for an incident that you would not be able to attend to on your everyday life. So if you look at the collapsing of a wall, for an example, in this instance, if a flood occurs out of nowhere, the wall collapses, that could be considered something sudden and unforeseen. Whereas if you look at something, for example, mold, black mold on your ceiling, that's not something that occurs suddenly. One could even go as far as saying that it's gradual or ongoing in that nature. Considering the nature of the respective damages, you can now understand that there are certain instances where the insurer will react and where it will not react.
Brian, can you tell us if a loved one, if a family member needs to reach the National Financial Ombud with a particular complaint of this nature, can you tell us how they would need to get a hold of the NFO?
Now, if in the event of a claim being rejected by the insurer, a consumer can approach our offices in the sense of either calling our direct line, sending an email to our email address, which is info@nfosa.coza, or even just logging onto our website, familiarizing yourself with the website and lodging a complaint there, where our office would reach out once the complaint has been captured.
Share with us some consumer tips that you can give away to our consumers out there that will be helpful in this challenging time with the non-life insurance.
In terms of any tips I could give to the consumers, I'd just like to again reiterate that the insurance policy wasn't meant to rectify any pre-existing damage. So the reality of it all is that the policy will only respond if and when an insured event has actually occurred as set out in the policy. So if you're looking at stuff such as maintenance of the property, maintenance in this instance could be clearing vegetation around your walls. Why? Vegetation tends to weaken the boundary wall in itself. And you also look at the clearing of gutters in terms of your roof and also waterproofing. This is basically the maintenance or the responsibilities that the consumer would have as the homeowner and that the insurer wouldn't necessarily see as an insured event.
Thank you, Brian, for joining us today, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.